And I think we are live. Hi, everyone. Sorry for waiting on me for a couple of minutes. I had some tech issues finding my charger and making sure everything works properly. Let me know if you can see and hear me. I will wait for just a couple of seconds to see if anybody can confirm. You can hear and see me clearly. I hope you are having a wonderful Saturday and not teaching today, just taking some time for yourself. Okay, we have someone viewing the live. Can you just let me know if you can see and hear me clearly? Again, thank you for the patience, everyone. I had some tech issues before starting the live, but now we're good to go. Let me just check the comments. Yay! Hi, Angie. Thank you so much for saying hello and that you can see and hear me clearly. Awesome. Thank you. Wonderful. Welcome to our today's webinar on how to add value to our class offer. And this is a topic inspired by actually students and teacher talks within SuperTeacher. I personally did a small survey with my uh, private students, asking them, like, going forward, if there is anything they would like me to include to kind of add value to my class offer, and if they see something valuable that's missing. And there are a few ideas that come out from their feedback. So I thought, one thing is adding value to your regular students in their classes, but a different thing completely is to have your to have new students, thinking about growing your independent teaching business and being able to actually create different class offers based on the value you bring. Wonderful. Someone says, a Mr. User says, everything looks good. Hi, Ivy. Thank you. If you do want me to see your name and for you to appear during the chat and the live, just make sure to allow Wave Video access to your Facebook profile. Okay, so not to ramble any longer, let's jump right into it. Just making sure. Okay, good. Now we are good. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ivy, and I'm a special education teacher. But I've been teaching ESL online since 2016. And since 2 years ago, I started teaching independently right after the Chinese market shut down. And I was kind of forced, like many of you, I guess, to either, pivot to private teaching or just give up completely. And in some time in that process, I founded SuperTeacher, a platform that makes the independent teaching admin super simple. And today we're going to just focus on how to add value to our class offer and earn more consequently. So before defining actually what you sell and what your class offer is, you have to think about who you teach and what you teach. So please type in the comments, like, are you already teaching independently? Are you just starting to establish yourself, and you're just looking for first private students? Where you are in your independent teaching journey, because that's very important. If you don't have any prior teaching experience or experience teaching independently, then that means you would have to invest a little bit more in yourself, or start with somehow maybe average class prices, or just be real with what you can offer as an independent online teacher. And when it comes to what you teach, is it general English? Is it test prep? Is it tutoring services? Is it subject teaching, business English? So depending on your niche or focus or client base, that's going to also define your class prices and what kind of value you can include in your class offer. Let me see if there are any comments on. Yeah, Angie says, I teach with a company And I have a few private students, and I'm trying to expand on my private student base. Awesome. So, as someone who has a broad experience teaching with companies, that's totally different start, right? A different background to begin with. So, you might be more aware of like what students usually are used to paying and what they are used to actually getting from companies, and that's very important when we go teaching independently. You know, it's different if you have no prior company experience, that you might not be aware of what your prospective students are used to be getting if they were studying with ESL companies such as VIP Kid, Dada, Gogo Kid. So what many of us weren't aware of is that parents didn't just get their teacher in their desired, preferred class time exclusively, like peak China time, for example. And that's it, like 25-minute class, and that's it. That's not the value you were bringing into, I mean, you teaching was not the only value they were getting, um, within companies. And the other main thing they were getting from companies is a kind of a student learning dashboard where the children or the students could access after class activities, which were mostly in a form of a game or maybe a worksheet, but probably most definitely, most often that was something interactive, like being games where they would collect stars or just review activities. For example, when I stopped working with GoGo Kid, I asked one of the moms who insisted on having me as a private teacher. I said, but I can only offer, a call, and then we can meet, and then we can talk, and then I have to take care of all the stuff like curriculum and, payment processing and everything. And I asked her back then, like 2 years ago, like, is there anything else I should be working on? And she was like, you see, my child loved to play these games. And she showed me an app. So, for example, GoKid had an app that was free for parents, and it included all the lesson based games to review after class or to preview. So thinking as an independent teacher, that's why you should also have in mind, if you do expect to have prices you're going to be happy with, and also offer and add value to your future students to stand out from the crowd as well. So let me know if you have any thoughts on anything we talk about. Just feel free to chat and comment, and I will make sure to refer to your questions or comments. So, depending on where you are at the moment, think about what your current class offer is. Maybe you weren't aware, but there are different types of classes and class offers you could create. You could just teach one-on-one classes, what most of us ex-company teachers were used to. So that means that's normally like one-on-one 25-minute class. Then group classes, you can organize them however you want, but usually they were 40 or 45 minutes for 2 to 4 students. Then class packages you are offering at the moment, just kind of try to list down what you are currently doing and offering, so you can review this during the webinar and to see what you can do better to up your prices a little bit, or and by adding value. You could also offer subscription programs where parents could commit monthly either to your regular classes or something else you can offer as a service. We're going to talk about it. And maybe self-paced courses or any kind of resources parents and their children, actually your students, could access after class. That's the value they were used to getting within the companies we mentioned before. Let me see if there are any more comments on this. Okay, not at the moment. Great. So let's see. First of all, what we all should be aware of when teaching online independently is, we talked a little bit about who we are teaching, what we are teaching, which includes curriculum, outcomes we offer, and expertise or skills we come into that come into the class offer we create. where we are going to teach, sorry, or where we're teaching. So it's not the same if your classroom is, for example, Zoom or Kuala Go. So it brings value if you do provide students with more interactive learning environment. If you invest in props, if you make sure that class experience is stable and they have good overall user experience, that's for sure gonna keep that student longer with you. When deciding on your prices, you should also think about is this is going to be your side job, your main income? What's your availability? What do you want to achieve? Do you just want to earn some experience teaching online, so you could start maybe lower and then up your prices in time as you gain more experience and become more confident? Or is you are super experienced, 20-year experience, like teacher, maybe brick and mortar teacher, you have all the skills and everything, so you should know your value, right? Or where to begin with when thinking about the prices. If you do already teach and have everything all set, here are some like strategies you can use to up your class prices. But yeah, we're going to go back to this one, and I just want to talk about the new students compared to our current students, like regular students you already have. So thinking about your future students, you would want to think in terms of your first time experience with them, actually their experience with you during their trial class, then the feedback you can provide, the learning plan you can create for them to kind of log them into, offer already something even before they commit to your classes, and finally the class offer. But for current students, what you can do is, if you're not offering anything other than just simple meeting with them during the class, these are some ideas you can include and up your prices a little bit, or offer a separate kind of additional income stream and offer it for them to either subscribe or just add to their regular class offer. So first would be homework. For example, I personally do not assign homework. My parents know that, they just show up for class. They do get class recordings, but that's it. So if I was thinking of, raising my prices a little bit, I would first think of offering homework and maybe homework review activities. Class recordings is something that some parents are very specific about. So that means I listed this because it should not be mandatory. It costs you time, it costs you money. For example, if you use a teaching platform like Classin, having to record classes or keep them in the cloud can cost you a lot, on a monthly basis. So you have to count that into your price offer. Then you could create a resource library, something that we're going to talk about in more detail today, which I find can be super unique to you and your class offer, and your clients, your students. And then you can also offer them referral incentives, kind of reward systems, if they bring on their friends and family, and you can add value to them by actually offering a small discount per referred student. Okay, let's stop here briefly. Okay, no more questions or comments at the moment. I hope you can see my screen all the time. Okay, sometimes I forget to share it. Let's enter in a little bit more comfortable mode like this. Okay, so let's see. For one-on-one class offer, no matter where you are in your independent teaching business, it's super important, and it proves to be very good to define your top and lowest price first per class. That means factor in everything we talked about, like how much time you wanna, and effort and resources you wanna include in your single class offer. Do you just want to show up and teach? Do you want to have 10 back-to-back classes without homework, class recordings, anything? But you're just going after having a full schedule. In that case, that's legit. That's totally legit, right? So you could just set up your prices a little bit lower and define your lowest price under which you're in no circumstances going to go, right? So you know when you start getting interested students, like you can, offer class for a little bit higher price, and then you should be aware, don't let yourself, and undervalue yourself. Actually, don't let them undervalue and undercut your prices. So have the lowest price and the scenario in which that price is going to be working for you. It could be the price included in like a bigger class package, for example. So factor this lowest price into your class offer. Define your top price. Top price would be your one-on-one class. If they just want to, book a class after class, they don't want to commit to a package or to a monthly subscription, that class price should be the highest, because it's very uncertain for you if they're going to be getting regular classes. They could just reach out to you anytime and ask for a single class. So you should make sure to define this class as something special, being available to them in no regular basis, just as need be. Maybe they just need support with school homework or test prep or anything, they need right on spot. That should be something exclusive, not something, they can have available at all time. Let me check real briefly. Okay. Feel free to comment and just stop me if this is like too much, or you feel we should talk about something more. When it comes to adding value, we mentioned a kind of resources you could include, and that does not have to mean more prep time for you or more after class work for you. It doesn't mean, it means that you already most definitely or probably have kind of resources you're already using for teaching. And that might be worksheets you create, that might be videos or games you play with your students, created in Wordwall, for example. That could be YouTube songs, your class recordings, anything relevant to the class. So, all of that you can put in a very well organized and accessible way for your student, and actually offer, so they don't have to wait for your lesson feedback or review material or worksheet. You could just create your own kind of learning after class learning, let's say, environment, or maybe library. Yes, I would call it a resource library. And in this case, you could either charge for it if you are the creator of all the resources. So you have to be very careful with the licensing. You cannot offer other people's resources and then charge for it. You can't do that. But if you do create like worksheets or word wall games using your own templates and everything, if you are the creator of the resources, you could most definitely create a library of lesson previews, uh, lesson review, games, activities, anything you want, and offer it to your student. And I think that's something that's going to work really well based on what I've heard from my Chinese students looking for and asking for. Um, I will show you how you can do that on SuperTeacher, but basically you could do that right in any kind of folder that you could make, accessible or available to your students. And I hope this is going to be something interesting and new we talk about. Yeah, we have a mystery user saying, like to flip the class. Great, thank you. Awesome. Then what you could do is you can offer class packages with or without discount. And the way that brings value to your students is you can offer your availability to them on a regular basis. That's not something that should be just kind of assumed, because it is a value you bring. You make sure you are available to your student every Monday and Thursday, 2 p.m. peak Chinese time or any time they want. The moment after child class, the moment you start sharing your class offer, you should mention those things. Like if you should, the parent should be aware that that's something, some special, accommodation or convenience you're offering. Like if you do want to have a regular class lot every week, then I can definitely reserve these classes for you. In that case, you just share your policy. You have to show up. The price is going to be this because I'm going to be saving this class lot exclusively for your child, and so on. It's not something that they should expect and assume you're going to provide them with. Offer goal-oriented class packages. That's something super interesting. Maybe we talked about that in our last webinar, but when thinking about your class offer, it's not just about the number of classes and the discount you include, like I normally do, because I know my students, and I just, when I create my packages, I say, um, 15, 25-minute classes twice a week for Elsa, for example, and the mom knows it's their package. But if I was about to scale up my independent teaching business, grow my student base, I would most definitely do it differently in a much more appealing way for the parents and the students. So what you could say is define your offer with the value you're going to bring. Let's say you're using Abridge Academy, one of the most interactive and amazing curriculums out there, created by Katie, the teacher herself. And you could, for example, say, okay, if you purchase these 30 classes in a package, you're going to get Abridge Academy Level 1, Units 1 to 3, for example. And so the parent is going to have a sense of progress, and they're going to say, "Oh, that sounds good." After 30 classes, the student is going to finish, the third or the half of the level, and then they're going to be motivated to continue taking classes with you because you're going to be offering them some kind of goals they can achieve, and milestones they can obviously see and achieve. Let me see if you have any thoughts on that. Oh, hi, Brenda, it's you. I'm sorry, but yeah, I can see your name. Thank you for coming. Awesome. And then you could also offer subscription-based programs, and it doesn't have to be just classes, but it could be some kind of resources you create if you are a teacher creator as well. We talked about that. Like organize your resources. If they are yours, you can offer them for a small incentive or something to just add up and diversify your income. If you do not own them, such as maybe YouTube videos or any kind of web-based material that allows, which policies, in terms of use allows embedding them maybe, or just using their link as a replay, you can also mention that in your class offer. Not charge for them, but include them, tell to the parent, like if you just want to have class without any further resources or after class activities, the price is this. If you do want to get regular resources that you could then share with them, you can totally create a different kind of class offer and price. If you are not teaching group classes, think about offering group classes as a strategy that I learned from Katie. We mentioned before, Katie from Abridge Academy. And she has an amazing approach to group classes. She is using them to kind of offer the students who say that your class prices are too high. She would just prompt those students to join, to find a friend or a classmate or, a family member, a neighbor, someone they could bring over to class and split the cost. So that way, the student, there is no way they're going to say no. If they said no to a one-on-one class, they're going to make sure to find someone to split the cost for the class with. Or you could raise the class price a little bit. If it's going to be, let's say, 40-minute group class, you could totally raise the price a little bit, but still it's going to be much lower for the student who couldn't pay for one-on-one class, right? So you could still earn a little bit more and keep the student and get another one, right, in the process. You could use, I used group classes a few times only. Honestly, I don't teach group classes. Maybe I should think about that. But for me, they were a great way to connect my existing students, especially because I have two pairs of students that are friends. So it was interesting, to put them in a group class and kind of exchange and apply what they have been learning in one-on-one class, or as a free group class to just promote myself or reward the regular students. They can be program based, they can be ongoing, however you think about. And if you do or do not teach group classes, think about that strategy, because that means you could reach out to a much, you can become much more accessible because you could lower your usual one-on-one class prices a little bit and even earn more and thus reach more students. You can, okay, we can talk about them more, but I think it's enough to just mention the possibility of including group classes in your class offer. We mentioned subscription based classes, but also resources. And that means for you, it can be much more stable. It's easier for the parents, it could be easier for them to commit on monthly basis. Plus, you can set up your prices a little bit different. You can control your terms and policy, like if what happens if they do not use all the classes they pay for, or how many times they can cancel or reschedule class. But in this subscription based model, you can totally factor in the learning resources you're going to be sharing with them as well. Let me see there. Yeah. Oh, hi, Katie. Welcome. No worries. There will be a replay. And yeah, we were just talking about you. And I was just sharing about group class strategy you taught me and you always mention. And we also talked about the advantages of having interactive curriculum as adding value, in a sense of adding value to your classes and class offer. So thank you for tuning in. And we just started talking about, or actually, we were talking also about creating a resource library that can consist of worksheets or any kind of material you as a teacher create. So you, again, have to make sure they're your own resources. This could be audio reviews of your student homework, or homework reviews, anything you do and create for your students. You can include and organize that and offer that to either existing students or prospective students to increase your class price. And I thought I could maybe show you the way of doing that within SuperTeacher. So on SuperTeacher, we have something called Course Builder, but actually this is a feature you can use to create your own personal library. So let me just log in and show you the way it could work and look for you. Let's see. We're going to open a SuperTeacher demo account. And on the teacher profile, you will see that my students can actually book one-on-one classes with me. They can book group classes. They can subscribe if I do offer subscription-based programs. And they can check out everything I offer in my on my teacher page. So let's see, just to check which one I actually created. Okay, let's just open one of the courses. Okay, maybe this one, Teach Ivy's Resource Library. So here I actually can put my video. I can welcome the student. I can say, welcome to your after class playground, or, welcome to my resource library. You can access it anytime. So you can offer it at your students' convenience, so they could, access these resources at any point, be it before class, after class, to practice, to just play games, to stay active in learning English, right? And so you can mention the goals of this resource library. You can, for example, say at the end of this journey, or by taking part, by being engaged in this kind of work after class work, you will be able to practice English independent. Master your English skills, or just um, enforce what we learn in regular classes. Who this resource library is. Is it just for students who take regular classes, or maybe new coming students? That can be interesting as well. What they will need to know or do before, getting the resource. If they need to print something, the resource library. If they need to print something or use headphones or anything, you can just mention there. And then comes the fun part. So you can organize resources you've been using however you want. So you can create sections, let's say, maybe by kind of resources. They could be songs, worksheets, um, audio reviews, or practice activities. You could, just make sure that if you do so, everything you put here is copy. It's your own. You have created that, so that's very important. You should never use another person's resource without crediting them. You should always check their, terms of use and policies, and just make sure to play fair, because you are a teacher, and there are teacher creators out there putting so much effort and time and love and energy into what they do. So most definitely we should be respectful of that, right? Okay, and yeah, that could be it. So that's something that most of the parents, if you are after parents who do have some learning experience, whose children have learning experience with companies, they most definitely, like 99%, already had the experience of not just getting their favorite teacher at their favorite time, with their, the lessons of their choice, level and curriculum and everything. They couldn't choose that either. They couldn't pick, right? So here is your strength as well. Make sure to pick a super interactive curriculum like Cambridge Academy, uh, or like, Brenda's interactive stories to enrich your core curriculum offer, and just use that to your advantage, because parents are just used to a certain way of doing things before they knew you, right, or your independent teaching. Make sure to choose the right classroom environment, learning environment. It's not the same if you have them on Zoom and if you have them in Kuala Go playground, for example. So that's adding value as well, right? Create some additional resources they are used to, be it word wall games, be it worksheets, or offer some kind of weekly, maybe a review of their homework, anything you can think of that could be valuable. So you could add to your class offer, and either raise the price or offer this as a special service, like separate service, um, within your teaching shop or offer. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if they have it, if we have some comments or questions. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Katie says, oh, sorry. Let me go back. Now I see a few comments. Katie says, I love the subscription model idea. Yeah, and this is something, me too. Like, I've never personally used it. This idea was actually also inspired by Jillian Shanahan, because she brought this to my attention, saying, like, going forward, I mean, students are going to be preferring, having monthly based subscriptions, or having any kind of resources on a subscription based, be it classes or just learning material you could provide them with. And so in a week, time from now, if you do want to offer that, but you don't have any alternative way of doing that, you can totally use your SuperTeacher account and create subscription programs however you want. Thank you, Katie, for being the best and always coming and being there for me as well. Katie also says this is such a great idea. Students can access all their practice materials. And I love the suggestion of adding feedback here too so parents can easily track their progress. Right. Exactly. And that doesn't mean, yeah, so that means at the same time you can build up your own personal resource library of the material you have been creating in the past, right? Plus add ongoing material like feedback and homework. And also, if you do use it, if you do create a resource library on SuperTeacher, whenever you upload a new material, your student gets notified and they can access it. You know, they get an email notification. It's going to say, hey, your teacher just assigned this resource, check it out. Or, hey, this is something new in the resource library. So it keeps them involved. And that's also what parents I was talking with we're always saying like, Ivy, we just need, I mean, your classes are great, it's fun, it's useful, there is progress, but what after that? You know, when we say bye-bye and we see you in 3 days, you know, there is no way for my child to stay kind of engaged or, you know, to do something, anything would be welcomed. So that's how we came out to this idea. Katie also says a bit like Google Classroom or class and score system. Yeah, but much better. Sorry, organized and linked to the payments and bookings and class credits. Yeah, so that means you can either offer it as part of your current class offer within SuperTeacher system, or as a totally, you know, separate service they can subscribe to if you are the creator, of course, of the resource. I can't emphasize that enough. Someone says, I mean, I think it's Brenda. Oh no, as a new online teacher and creator, I'm always looking for ways to add value to my students and stand out in the market. That's great. This webinar has come at the perfect time. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm excited to learn the tools and strategies to help me achieve my goals. That is fantastic. By the way, the webinar and all the resources, I'm going to be creating kind of a template, not a template, but a simple PDF with ideas of the ways you could organize your resource library and like what you could include. And it will have a list of maybe free resources that you can also, you know, that have the permission to be embedded or used, you know, in your one-on-one class or something like that. I will make sure to just check and create a list of things to inspire you at least. Yeah, Katie also said Jillian has some amazing ideas, most definitely. And by the way, she just launched a teacher coaching program called Teacher Boss. I think you should definitely check it out in her Facebook group, Online Teacher Success and Support. And yeah, she has some amazing ideas, especially when it comes to self marketing on YouTube and more. Katie also says, "Oh, I didn't know they got email notification. That's awesome." Yeah, SuperTeacher has so many great features. Thank you so much, Katie. Most definitely. I'll almost always forget to mention that because I always assume. So they do get email notifications when they book class, when you reschedule class, or they cancel class, when you upload a new resource, any kind of resource. It just gets listed in their email and takes them straight to the resource. So it's very convenient. It was me. I hit new and edited. Ah, that is Brenda. Awesome. Oh, hi, Barbara. That's wonderful to see you as well. Barbara says, "Hello, I love Katie's and Brenda's curriculums. At the moment, I choose to continue with Daybridge, but as I get more students, I will resubscribe to Young Learners curriculum." That is so amazing to hear. I'm sure you're going to love both. I mean, you already had so. And I really have to emphasize, you know, being an independent teacher, how important it is to have interactive web-based curriculum. It's totally different story if you're going to be using some kind of PDFs, not to mention the way you acquire them. I'm not here to blame anybody, but we should really, if we are going to be the part of the CSL community, we should really pay I mean, respect and value what's made available to us, and that's gonna come back to us, from the students. If you're just gonna wing the class with the first thing you were going to download on the internet, not even thinking if it's okay or not, or you're going to subscribe to a teacher created amazing curriculum such as Abridge Academy and Young Learners curriculum and stories. I personally know both creators, and I cannot tell you enough, like the energy and the time and love they put into what they're doing. So consider that. You can always include your curriculum subscription in your class offer as well. Like just recently, for example, I'm just going to give you an experience-based example. I had a very challenging student. The child is very young. I've been teaching Ashley since she was 3.5, and now she's 5.5, and she still struggles a lot, staying focused primarily. And her mom was always insisting on using, branded curriculum such as Reach Higher and whatnot. And she would send me the books and we would do them in a PDF format. But they were totally not, adjusted to the child's level and needs and everything. I could never make them as interactive as I could with my other students using Cambridge Academy or Brenda Stories. And so one time, like right around the Chinese New Year, the mom was a little bit more relaxed, and I kind of thought, how do I use this moment, because usually she's all uptight, and I was like, Happy New Year. Okay, this class should be, more fun, more interactive. Mommy, can we just try something different today? Blah, 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 blah. I did all I could just to expose her to a Ridge Academy lesson. And I did use the one about Chinese New Year. And the mom was like, she was okay with that, but it was kind of like, okay, let's do it just this one time, right? The moment she saw her child bouncing around, moving things on the screen, being like happy and jumping with when she saw the trophies and, little characters moving, buttons playing sounds, she was amazed. Like she could even play a quiz. There was a click quiz, drag and drop she could do. And the mom was like, super surprised. She didn't expect that. And she was like, after that, I asked her, I said, Mom, did you see how Ashley behaved in class? She responded very well. How did you like this? Is it okay to continue? And she was like, okay, Ivy, now I see what we were talking about. And, she just let us be. And since then, like, it's been much easier to have the child engaged and make actual progress. So I love to, yeah. Okay. So Barbara says, are there any updates about SuperTeacher? Yes. Why not mention that right now, right after the live? We finished with the webinar. I'm going to issue a newsletter, the 6th newsletter, SuperTeacher newsletter. And but yeah, let me tell you, on this Wednesday, the subscription plan is going to be live. We're going to be launching at $9 a month, and that's it. And at the same time, the platform is going to be switched to USD payments. So everybody will have a few days to kind of just calculate your prices in dollars from GBP. Because before, if you're just starting, then it's going to be easier for you. If you already have your prices set, you will just have to make sure to switch your prices to dollars, because we're going to be switching the main currency. And later on, we are probably going to be adding multiple currency choices, so the teacher could actually choose. But for now, we're going to launch the subscription plan and the price, currency change on coming Wednesday. Thank you, Barbara. Great question. Barbara also says interactive branded stories are amazing. Most definitely. Barbara also says, I come from an online platform and Some of my students are coming from there, so interactive lessons are a must. I use the Qualigo. Awesome. So you know what we are talking about here, right? The difference it makes using an interactive classroom, same as interactive curriculum. Katie says, Ashley is so sweet. Ivy sent me the class recording, and the kiddo was adorable, super engaged and excited. You should have seen her before. Like, that was a hell. We all have this one student, but she's just super young, and the lessons were super inappropriate. I mean, not interactive in everything. So she was just, yeah, you saw it. Super happy. Someone says, probably Brenda, what does 9 a month include? Everything on SuperTeacher. Like, this is like a premium plan, everything. There is no difference. So at the moment, we do have the freemium, and this is going to be like the pro, actually, everything included. And the difference is on the paid $9 plan, there will be zero transaction fees after the third party Stripe or Stripe and Wise. If you are coming from a Stripe supported country, you will just have like around 3.9%. We will see the way Stripes regulates that on your end. I mean, and there will be zero additional processing fees on our end. If you are coming from a Stripe unsupported country, we normally use Wise in addition to Stripe, and that's 1% more. So it will be 5% in total to process your transactions. And that also means if you are able to use Stripe, you get payouts instantly. So when students pay for classes, your income goes directly to your Stripe account. But if you cannot use it, if we use Wise, you will have the ability to require a payout, and then we are going to be processing it manually. Great question. So let me show you actually what it includes. Maybe I'm always better in showing than talking, just to show you briefly. Wow, we have just upped the game on the website. Like, now you have the full training center and many more resources here. So what you get is you get the opportunity to offer different class types on SuperTeacher. So that means you can offer one-on-one, group classes, class packages, subscription programs, and self-paced courses. Then that means you also can sell worldwide, because SuperTeacher supports any kind of card transactions plus WeChat Pay, which is super important if your clients are in China. You get free training and courses and different resources in our training center. You can check it out here. And you will see some, for example, live teacher trainings we have every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central European Time. And every Monday at 6 p.m. CT, we have the basic training where you just can show up and have your teacher page reviewed and get prompt support into setting up everything. You will see past webinars and student guides that are translated in 13 languages for now. If you do find some language that you need and it's not listed here, you just let us know and we're going to translate it in no time. For now, we have English, Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, Turkish, French, Korean, Italian, German, Russian, Arabic, and Vietnamese. So if there is anything else you need, that's how we grow, actually. Like, we grow as based on the teacher's need, and we keep on adding resources. And so you get a fully featured teacher page, a student portal, integrated class bookings and payment system we mentioned before, your personal teacher shop with all this class modes you can offer. You get automated class bookings and scheduling system, tracking system. That means no more manual tracking on how many classes the student has used or hasn't, are left in the package. Rescheduling and email reminders. We also have a messenger, which is really neat, especially, having Chinese market in mind. Like, things can change overnight. Like, Like we did lose access within companies, you're right, right? No, if something happens, you will still have a channel to communicate with your students. The free training we mentioned and ongoing support. Um, and yeah, I think here you can find some frequently asked and answered questions. You can reach out to me at any point, either here on Facebook or on support@superteacher.net. And the blog is in the works. We're going to be working on it much more in the days to come. Okay. Oh, I didn't share the screen. Okay. Sorry about that. It had to happen. I always do that. Let's see. Barbara said, um, is the payment system compulsory to use the platform? I ask because at the moment I've only got Italians who pay in euros. No, it's not. So if you are subscribed, for to the $9 a month plan, then you do not have to use our payment processor at all. That means you can still create class packages. Just put the prices to zero, assign them to your students, and they can have classes, use the booking system, everything as usual. That's a good point. If they are not, if they don't feel like convenient, yeah, if you do not want to change your prices to dollars, of course. On the on the free plan, teachers do have to use our payment processor because this is how we, it makes sense for us as well. But on the subscription plan, it's not mandatory, it's not compulsory, of course. Sorry for not sharing the screen. Should I repeat myself? I just don't want to bother everybody again. But yeah, I do want to show you the front page and the training center. So let me share just briefly. Just bear with me for a moment. Okay, here we go. So this time I'm going to share the window, not the. I usually share the tab, so that's why. Can you see? Can you see the screen now? Can you see the website? I think you can. Yeah, you can. Okay. So here, when you come to our homepage, you will see everything that's included. And here you will see the training center. And we have just launched it, the last weekend. Yeah. So everything, all the previous webinars, the teacher trainings, student guides, and also some free resources. At the moment we do have them. We'll see. Yeah, for now they're going to stay here, like games to play. And there is also safe self-paced teacher training. And that's it. I hope you find it useful. Here you can always see everything that's included. You can check out the demo teacher account if you want to see, like, the same way we did today, to see what exactly you get and what the functionalities are. And here you can find some frequently asked and answered questions. And again, reach out to me anytime you have the contact info on the side, and also a link to schedule maybe a quick one-on-one call, or just come to our weekly trainings. Monday 6 a.m., 6 p.m., Wednesday 6 p.m. Is when you're always going to find me during the training, and just to get a prompt support. Okay, wow, let me see either. I wasn't sharing it again. Oh my goodness, what's wrong with me? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I just don't know what happened, but if you do want to stick around, let's try one more time. How about now? Okay, now you can see it, right? Sorry, please pardon me. And yeah, I'm not ignorant. I just always forget to share this, to pull it up. How about now? Can you actually see it? Yes, you can. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. So I was just talking about the new training center available here in the main menu when you go home, and then Training Center. You will see all the previous webinars with lots of useful resources such as templates. We mentioned, for example, the lesson feedback, the onboarding questionnaire. You will find them all here. You will also find live teacher trainings that we have on Wednesdays with all the previews and presentations, and the student guides translated in over 10 languages. And that's it. Let's open just one. For example, today's webinar is also going to be uploaded here. You can just, everything is free in our teacher library. So you just click this button that says get it. You can preview the actual, just for it to load in. Okay, here we go. So you see, this is actually, it looks like a resource library we were talking about that you can use to add value to your class offer. So here you will see everything that's included and be able to watch the replays, download the resources, and use it to your advantage. Thank you for bearing with me, especially in the end. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Katie. Katie says, yeah, now it's working. Good to know. Sorry. It's okay. Katie says, it's okay. We can just find everything you mentioned in the teacher training tab. Yeah, okay. So not to ramble anymore. Let's stop here. Let me know whenever you have any question. Reach out to SuperTeacher in the Facebook group or just on it will be an email. Barbara also says, "Thank you. I gotta go now. That was super. See you soon. Thank you so much. I'm happy to hear it was valuable, and I will see you all next Saturday. We're gonna talk about something maybe even more interesting. Thanks for having me, everyone. Bye for now."